Ladies and gentlemen, I have made some incredible builds throughout this year. When I say these are the top 5 builds you will see, all 2K26, that is not an exaggeration. A lot of people go ahead and hate with that clickbait. Oh, these are the best 5 builds. You look at them, they shot 0 for 5. When I say I might have aimbot, 5 for 5, did not miss, 100 out of 100 ratings, easily all legendary builds in this video, and multiple variations for each build. These builds are game breaking. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to want me to make these builds on 2K27. I want you to hit that like button. I want you to subscribe because we will be remaking these builds on 2K27. Mike Wang can try to change up the builder, but he cannot patch me. Every year Stiza returns and he breaks dribbling. Every year I will return, I will break building. Now, for the gameplay footage in the background, it is gameplay against the number 1 team that we faced in Pro-Am. We will start in the second half. If you guys want to see the first half of the gameplay, go look at my top 10 build video where I rank builds number 10 through 6. That video also featured 5 legendary builds scoring a 100 out of 100 with multiple variations. Now let's get into ranking these builds. At number 5, I have my Evil Superman build. The Evil Superman is our 6'8" power forward with strength. So it's a popping power forward designed to dominate 2v2 and 3v3 park. You're able to set screens for your PG to come off the screens, get shots that way. You're able to roll, dunk the ball, score all 3 levels because you get really good jump shot animations and stuff like that. You can dribble, create your own shot, snag every rebound, got high vertical, good enough defense to guard ball. You ever get switched on to it. It's an all-around fire build, but it is designed for 2v2 and 3v3. If you guys want to take this to the 5v5 scenario, I don't think this is the best thing you could do. Granted, you could lower the strength down to 72. Now, going 72 strength will give you bronze brick wall. That's good enough. If you plus 2 at the gold, you could kind of run in that 2v2, 3v3 setting, and you're not investing too much in the attribute where it ruins the build in 5v5. But I think going 83 strength or 91 strength for that silver brick wall, gold brick wall that you can plus 1 and plus 2 to get higher, kind of ruins the build when it comes to a 5v5 setting. Now, for the variations I will show on this build, I will show you guys the 2 91 strength variations. The first one here is Evil Superman. This is the 6'8" power forward with a maxed out wingspan. So this enables you to get 93 block. That's gold paint patroller, Hall of Fame high flying denier. You can plus 1 and plus 2 to get those up to legend. And this is good Superman. You go a tad bit lower on the wingspan so you're able to get gold set shot specialists and some better jumpers. But you're going to be a tad bit slower as well because you got to raise the weight to ensure that you still get that 94 defensive rebounding for the gold rebound chaser on Hall of Fame box out beast. Overall, both builds are very fire, and they're some of the best builds you can make for the 2v2 and 3v3 game modes. Now, at build number 4, we have one of the toughest builds I made all year when it comes to a craftsmanship point of view. And if you guys want to, I can actually do like a top 10 build video on the toughest builds I made from a craftsmanship point of view. But that is the Joker build. What made the Joker build so tough is we found the glitchy way to get 99 perimeter and 99 steal. So a lot of people do what when they go for that rating combination? They go 94 perimeter and 94 steal. That costs a lot to do. Then they still got to allocate 10 cap breakers to get 99 and 99. We labbed up and we cooked up a way to get both those ratings without having to go that high. So we go 93 perimeter and 88 steal, and then 10 cap breakers still gets us up to 99 and 99. And since we didn't allocate all those points in the builder to get the 94 steal and 94 perimeter, we're able to spend those attribute points that we saved elsewhere on the build, and we're also able to combine those cap breakers at the height 6'6" with the driver dunk cap breakers. So we're able to go from 65 driver dunk up to 89 driver dunk as well, so you're able to get pro contact dunks off of 2 foot and 1 foot animations. Plus elite speed, agility, and great playmaking. You're able to create your own shot because you get all the good dribble moves and maxed out speed with ball. You get gold lightning launch on this build. You could plus to your lightning launch, and then you even got legend playmaking badges to go alongside your legend defensive badges, your legend finishing badges, and your legend physical badges. This lockdown is insane. A lot of people that made it say it's the best lockdown they played with all year, and they say they played with numerous lockdowns. And I do agree. This is the best lockdown I made, and this build is ranked at number 4. Now, here are 2 versions of Joker. On the first one here, we go lower on the weight. So your strength goes down and so does your defense rebounding, but that enables you to get more speed and agility. This one's designed for 5v5 Pro-Am. And then on this one right here, we actually go heavier on the weight. You're able to go up to 85 strength if you guys want to, or even 85 defense rebounding you guys want to. So you guys can pick and choose whichever one you guys prefer. If you guys like that middle ground of like 195 pounds for the 73 strength, I suggest you guys actually go watch my Joker video. And I do show you guys a middle ground with 73 strength, really good speed and agility, and 80 defensive rebounding. Now I know some people like to make the 6'7 with 85 strength. I do think that's a tad bit slow. So I do like the 6'6 with 85 strength. If you guys want to go that route because you're a little bit faster and more agile to keep up with these small PGs that run back and forth behind screens. Now we are on to our top 3 builds. And these 3 builds were playing musical chairs on my rankings for the longest. I didn't know which to place at 1, 2, or 3. It's really a 1A, 1B, 1C scenario when it comes to these 3 builds. But the most interesting thing about the builds is actually all of them intertwine when it comes to my journey and my story. So if you guys remember or have been following for a long time, you guys know I was the person that discovered the free throw method. The free throw method was Cat Breakers Part 1. I said, you lower your free throw. You see attributes come a lot early. Whatever attributes come a lot early are the attributes that get the glitchy Cat Breakers. After that video, I started getting a whole lot of buzz and traction. And I said, okay, this is time for me to go to the lab, cook up, and make the best 6'8" build possible. I cooked up my T-Mac build. And that is our Green Lantern original version. We ended up perfecting it and call it the Green Lantern version now. The problem with the T-Mac build was this. It is a super basic and easy build to make, so somebody already made it. Double H made the build like a month before me and stuff, and me being the new content creator, what does it look like? I just stole this Joker build and tried to take credit. That was my very first build video after the Cat Breaker Part 1 method. And I was like, oh my goodness, my credibility's down the drain. I got a bad reputation now, no honor, whatever the case may be. Our builds are very similar, but that's a great mind think alike type of thing. I did not steal this man build or anything like that. So I said, you know what? To prevent this from happening, I'm going to hit the lab. I'm going to discover some craziness about everything in this builder. I had to regain my credibility. So what did that lead to? Cat Breakers Part 2. In Cat Breakers Part 2, I determined there was a connection. So nothing was random about the build or anything like that. I saw that whenever you raise some attributes, it affected what the other attribute Cat Breakers got. So for example, you want the dunk, block, and vertical Cat Breakers, and you raise the block too high and the vertical too high, you can't get those dunk, block, and vertical Cat Breakers. I determined the same thing with playmaking Cat Breakers. If you got the playmaking too high, you can't get the playmaking Cat Breakers. And then at the end of that video, I did our first giveaway. And the giveaway was this. You had to make a 6'8 power forward with gold paint controller, 77 interior, 93 block. That original build was our Vecna build. I perfected it, and we call it the Zeus build now. And then that led to Cat Breakers Part 3. In Cat Breakers Part 3, I went height by height and determined the best Cat Breaker combinations on each and every height on the game. And I also showed a deeper understanding of how each attribute is connected. So it expanded upon Cat Breakers Part 2, and it got to a deeper understanding on all the attributes are intertwined and which ones affect which Cat Breaker combination and family and stuff like that. An insane build. I think after Part 2, I thought personally I was the best builder in the community. I think after Part 3, there was no debate, any question about it. I solidified myself as the best builder in the community. And if you guys remember, Cat Breakers Part 3, we did another giveaway. And at the end of that giveaway, I said, hey, you guys got to use the playmaking Cat Breakers to make a 6'4" Kratos build. So those are the last 3 builds standing. It is Green Lantern, it is Zeus, it is Kratos. All 3 could easily be number 1, but one of them has to be number 3. And number 3, can I get a drum roll, please? Wait, I'm not going to reveal number 3 until you actually start banging on your desk. I need that drum roll. Alright, now, number 3 is Zeus. It is the 6'8 power forward that can do it all. You can take this build to random rec, average a triple-double. You can play with your friends and pro-am, rec, whatever, average a triple-double. You can take it to the park. You can ISO people, right? Especially you guys run a 3-out offense and 3v3, perfect for that. It can guard any and every position. The build has no weaknesses. When I started this series, I said Zeus, best build possible, whatever, for the thumbnail. And for some reason, people in the comment section said this is the worst build they ever seen. I don't know. Dude's got to be trolling in the comment section. I feel like some people don't look at the Cat Breakers, because you look at Zeus, it doesn't have any defense, right? It is kind of a catfish build. But then I hit that R3 and you see the Cat Breakers pop up and you're like, whoa, All those cap breakers are super glitchy. It is the defensive and rebounding cap breakers. Next week, I will end up doing a cap breaker combination video on the top 5 in the game. But this one, defensive cap breakers, are chef's kiss because you're able to get 93 block, 94 steal, without having to invest heavily in those ratings because your steal goes from an 81 up to a 94 and your block goes from a 74 up to a 93. So super glitchy ratings right there. That gives you Hall of Fame interceptor, gold paint patroller, Hall of Fame high flying denier, and you want a +1 and +2 those to get all those up to legend. And then you guys want to put steal, defensive rebounding, and pass accuracy in your takeover. You'll have all 3 of those ratings at 99. The build can absolutely dominate. Here's a heavier version with max weight for the most part, so you're able to get 99 defensive rebounding. So you don't even have to +1 your rebound chaser and box out beast. You're good to go there. That's great for a 5-out setting. And then here's another version with a little bit shorter wingspan. So when you do go that heavy on the weight, you do get 94 rebounding, which is still good enough for gold rebound chaser and Hall of Fame box out beast. Now, you guys want to go check out the original versions I made that were lower on the weight, so they're a little bit faster and quicker. You guys can go check those out. I personally do prefer those versions more, but I just want to give you guys 2 alternative versions at heavier weights. Now, for build number 2, we have our Kratos build. It is the point guard that can do it all. Normally, you make a point guard with this many attributes, you have to go so low on the height. That way, you guys can get more attributes to play around with. You guys didn't know 2K usually tries to compensate for height by giving the smaller PGs more attributes. So the smaller you go in height, the more attributes you get. The Kratos build is the tallest point guard you can get with all the good dribble moves, and you can still get all the good ratings you guys want. You can get 91 perimeter on this build, 94 steal, 96 3 ball, 93 drive duck, all 90s for your playmaking, 90 speed, 90 agility. You guys can modify the build in so many different ways and still get all the attributes you guys want, plus more. As soon as you load into the game, your opponent's going to be looking at your player card like, dang, he got all these 90s. Well, truth be told, there's still 90s that aren't even shown on the player card. The Kratos build's insane. Now, there are going to be some restrictions to the Kratos build when you compare it to a Liu Kang. Liu Kang, for example, gets mini marksman. Kratos can't get that badge at the height 6'4". He gets pogo stick instead, which is a really good badge to have because it helps you jump, and you will have to jump a lot on this game. People will try to shoot over you. Although you're 6'4", I promise you, you jump, you will get a contest. And since this build actually has defense, the contest will be more impactful because you're going to have higher challenger than most people, higher block than most people, this, down the third. A lot of other PGs do what? I don't care about rebounding. I don't care about defense. I don't care about this, down the third. That's called coping. They don't know how to make the build. I promise you. If you make the PG with the playmaking cap breakers, you're going to be able to get 90s on all your playmaking attribute, plus all the other ratings you guys want. And if you're struggling to make it on the Kratos build, you guys can go make the Liu Kang version. It's a little bit more beginner friendly when it comes to crafting the build and stuff like that. And there are some modifications the Liu Kang version can get that Kratos cannot. But I don't really think you need those extra modifications if you know what you're doing. You can cook up a Kratos build, and it is the second best build in the game. Here's a version with 85 perimeter defense, good enough for silver defensive badges. This is great at your guarding people off ball. And then the other version I'm going to show you guys has 91 perimeter defense. This is great at your guarding people on ball, so you're taking the PG to random wreck, or you're playing with a group of friends that don't have a lockdown. They're not that good at guarding the other team PG. You can actually do it yourself on the Kratos build. Now this game is about to come to an end. We're going to transition over to highlights. Ant sent in 2 sick poster dunks he had on his Kratos build. And then after that, I'm going to show highlights of my Kratos build, my Vecna build, which is the OG version of Zeus, and my Superman build. As I talk about our number 1 build, which is Green Lantern. Now, originally I didn't have this build at 100 out of 100, and you guys probably know exactly why. I asked you guys, where would you rank Green Lantern in the Hero Week? And you guys gave it 3rd place, so you guys thought Robin was better and Superman were better. You guys also said another shooting guard was better. I believe Hades, you guys said was better than Green Lantern. And you guys also said Gojo was better. Now, I completely understand why you guys said all that. The dunk block vertical cap breakers are basic, right? And everybody and their mama got a 6'8", so the build is an original, this, that, and the third. The problem is, I got to thinking. And I said, well, the build does have a good cap breaker combination, right? The family is the dunk block vertical caps. And the reason why people doesn't think it's that special is because we found that cap breaker family so early on in the year. Well, next year, we're going to find all the cap breaker combinations early on in the year. right? We didn't find the playmaking caps on Kratos till March. We didn't find the defensive caps on Vecna and Zeus till like December and January. We're gonna find all that stuff way earlier now because we know exactly what to look for. But here's my question to you. Let's say I found the playmaking cap breakers first. Would I make Kratos not a good build? Right? Would I found the defensive cap breakers first? Would I make Vecna and Zeus not that good of a build? I disagree. I think the builds are all incredible, and I can't knock the build for having the earliest found cap breaker combination. Right? Maybe besides the 6-8 playmaking ones, but those aren't really that good anyways. But the 6-8 dunk, block, and vertical cap breaker is still a S tier family in my opinion of cap breakers to target, and the build literally has no weakness. At least like you look at a Kratos build, you can say, alright, the mid range is a little too low. You look at a Zeus build, you can say, the 3 ball is a little too low. But when it comes to Green Lantern, you can't say a single bad thing about it, except for everybody and their mama got one, and the build is basic. But like I said, can't knock it from the craftsmanship, because the build is well fine-tuned. Now, for these versions, I switched from the dunk, block, and vertical cap breakers over to the defensive cap breakers. Here's a 5v5 version where you go minimum weight, you get higher speed and agility, but you don't have the rebounding. And then here's a 3v3 version where you got to raise the weight a little bit. So you're going to be a tad bit slower and not as quick, but you do get more rebounding. So whenever you're switched onto the big, you can snag with that 80 defensive rebounding. Good enough for Silver Rebound Chaser. Now, some people might ask, which is better between the dunk, block, and vertical caps or the defensive caps on the 6'8 shooting guard Green Lantern? It depends on how high you want to get the driver dunk. If you want to go up to 93, they're about equal. If you want to go to 95 driver dunk, I will get the edge to the dunk, block, vertical cap breakers. And you want to just chill at 87 or 89 driver dunk, you should definitely go with the defensive cap breakers. Now, that will conclude this video, and that will conclude this series. Now, I'd like to say thank you guys for all the support you have shown throughout this whole entire series and throughout my YouTube journey. I'm very grateful for each and every one of my subscribers and followers on TikTok and YT. Now, my channel is growing every single day, so I got different followers that are joining at different times of the journey, right? Some people might know me since the Ant-Man Edwards build. Some people might know me since Cap Breakers Part 1 or 2 or 3, wherever the case may be. Hopefully you guys seen that I became a better builder as the year gone on. But it's not about me becoming a better builder. I want you guys to become better builders. That is what I'm trying to do. I think that's what separates me from other content creators when it comes to making build videos. Because although I do believe I'm the best builder, no builder should be able to make a build better than you. I don't know the exact ratings you want. I don't know what ratings you're willing to sacrifice to get those ratings or anything like that. So, Cap Breakers Part 4 was going on all throughout the series. If you guys watched any of my original build videos of Project Falloff, at the end of each video, what did we do? We went back to the builder. I gave you guys a behind the scenes look, told you guys how to modify builds so you guys could still maintain the glitchy Cap Breakers, this, that, and the third. The point of all of that wasn't for me to flex my knowledge and show everybody how great of a builder I was. It was for you guys to become better builders. So you guys did become better builders. Please leave a like and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought was the best build of the series. Let me know what you guys think of this top 5 rankings. Did I get any of these rankings wrong? What build should be higher? What build should be lower? Comment down below. Now, this series was a huge hit, so we will do it again on 2K27. But remember, I'm a better builder. You're a better builder. We all are better builders. We know what to look for when it comes to Cap Breakers. We've seen the maximum capabilities that can be pushed to. So we're going to try to do this series again next year. But we're not going to try to start it in March or April. We're going to try to start this series as soon as possible. Hopefully we can start it and finish it before December or even January at the latest. But 2K27 is still 5 to 6 weeks out from now. As for 2K26, we will still upload some videos, but a lot of the videos we will be uploading on 2K26 will be me talking about 2K27. Now, there's a hot topic in the community right now, talking about microtransactions. I will be making a video on that and a whole lot of other 2K27 news, so make sure you guys stay tuned. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you guys on the next one. God bless.